After spending a couple weeks and a whole bunch of magazines with the G&G SMC-9, here's 5 things I love about the little carbine that could, and 5 things I don't. Before we get started, our friends over at CJ Airsoft have released a line of reusable masks so you can go about your day in safety and in style, rocking 4 different types of camo. We got Desert Tiger Stripe, Multicam Arid, Desert Night, and my personal pick, Multicam Black. These masks are not just camo colored fabric sewn together. They went with a moisture wicking dry fit material, and I gotta say, coming from those disposable masks, these not only feel better and breathe better, but they look better too, and it's better for the environment. Support one of the best airsoft fields in Canada. Grab your mask today, link is down below. Back to the SMC-9, this is the carbine kit only version, which allows you to do something like grab the tan lower, which we did for that nice two-tone look, which we paired with the G&G stubby M-lok grip up front mounted in reverse, and G&G's compact suppressor up front. For an optic, we went with the classic Electro style red dot sight, which I know it gets quite a bit of hate, but I still think it's one of the highest value budget red dots on the market, and I've been running one for years with no issues. And the best part is it has a perfect matching tan color. All right, starting with the very first thing that I love about the SMC-9, it's gotta be the look. And I know that's a little bit shallow, and I'm sure the SMC has a great personality as well, but seriously, this is absolutely the best looking airsoft only design ever released. What do you guys think? I just love those unique proportions and the perfect amount of angular detailing and just how cohesive the carbine kit is with the frame of that pistol. I just can't think of a better looking pistol carbine kit, and I really think G&G nailed the aesthetics on this one. But note that I said airsoft only design, which brings us to the first negative that's kind of inevitable. There is no real gun that this gun is based off of. Maybe there is, and I just haven't seen it yet. Prove me wrong in the comments down below. Now, it's not to say that this gun doesn't look like it could be a real gun, but for the collectors out there, it might be a tough sell. You're not gonna find this on any real world loadouts or in a video game or movie, but more importantly, it's not gonna have that aftermarket support that most other guns do, like custom stocks, custom body accessories, or even holsters. The next thing I love about the SMC-9 is just how compact this gun can get. It's got a 220mm barrel, which for reference is just 5mm shorter than the Knight's Armament PDW, so it's got a decent length barrel. Not only does that folding stock help as it is, but the fact that you can easily remove that lower for an even smaller footprint makes it perfect if you just want to chuck this gun into your gym bag along with the rest of your airsoft gear. On the other hand, the compact design does have its drawbacks in terms of ergonomics, as this gun can simply be a little too small for some people. I had my buddy who's 6'4" with arm length to match try out this gun, and there's just no way he could get a comfortable shooting position. The non-adjustable fixed length stock just sort of put him in a cramped up position, and there's just simply no way he could comfortably run this gun for an entire day. Now, sure, it's an extreme case, but even for someone like me who's 5'11", it does feel a little bit on the small side. And it's not actually the length of the gun. It just doesn't feel quite as substantial as something like a PRK-9 or an MP5K, which are both taller designs, and as a result feels just a little bit less bunched up. The ergonomics might be perfect for some of you, but I definitely recommend trying to get a good hold of this gun before making a decision. That being said, I really do love this stock. I think the aesthetics just fit so well with the rest of the gun, and despite being one of the only polymer pieces on an otherwise metal frame, it really does feel very solid. The hinge is easily one of the smoothest actions on a folding stock I've seen, and that slick magnetic lock is a really nice touch. And on to what I hate about this stock. Not only is it non-adjustable like I mentioned before, but it just sits way too high. Even with the Electro style red dot, which is a pretty high sight, it's really tough to get a good cheek well low enough to see through the optic, and that's without a mesh mask on. I get that this was the overall look that they were going for, and like I said, it does look really good, but even on the shoulder, it just doesn't really feel that right, and I really hope they introduce an aftermarket buffer tube option that maybe sits a little bit lower. The next thing I just love about the SMC-9 is this ejection port cover. It's a really cool design and a lot of fun to play with. I really like that it automatically swings open with that first round, and the gull wing look just really fits with that futuristic design. You can easily swap over this little piece to choose which side opens, though I wish they included two pieces, so perhaps you could do both. It's certainly somewhat of an unnecessary kind of party trick, but I do really like this design, and I do think it helps this gun stand out from the rest. It's not all good news though. The design of the ejection port means that if, for whatever reason, the ejection port is closed and you try to drop that bolt, it won't actually go back into battery and you can't fire the gun. Sure, this scenario is not all that common, but the bigger issue with the ejection port is whichever side of the ejection port is closed, it's quite tough to reach into that slide release. I think this could have easily been solved with a cutout on that ejection port, which means you can comfortably access that slide release regardless of which side is closed. Beyond that, it's also a rather thin polymer piece, and flapping around like that during a game is just asking to get snagged and broken off. Finally, the thing I love most about the SMC-9 is this barrel system. It's a sort of semi-fixed design, meaning the carbine kit itself is holding that barrel in place rather than the more common carbine kit design which wraps around the pistol, which in turn holds that barrel sort of loosely in the carbine kit. This means you can mount a suppressor without worrying about that up and down motion of the barrel, which usually happens when the gun is cycling. More importantly, this design of course does help with accuracy and tolerances of the whole system, and I was really impressed with this on the range, as was everyone else that put some trigger time on this gun. And that leads me to my final gripe about the SMC-9, and that's to do with this longer barrel, which on green gas pushes the velocity just north of 380 FPS, meaning for most CQB fields, you might be forced to run a lower pressure gas like duster gas. It's perfect for a field that allows for 400 FPS, but often those are outdoor fields, and this compact design just really lends itself to a CQB playstyle. We have heard that G&G is planning to release a powered down kit for this gun, but that's the sort of thing that really should have been released along with this gun. So that's been 5 things I love about the SMC-9 and 5 things I sort of don't, but at the end of the day, I still think that this is one of the most exciting releases we've seen in a while, and having spent some quality time with it, I do think that the pros outweigh the cons. But we'd love to know what you think. If you've had your hands on the SMC-9, let us know your hot take down below. And as always, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do consider subscribing, and we'll catch you on the next one.